wild.
All right. Good luck.
Yeah.
I want it here.
I mean, you had a very important role last week, so we're
Yeah,
dying
like
to hear.
yeah, like tell us.
Okay, so we went to save Dealey's boy, and then we did it, and we killed a couple people, one person killed things, and then we went and got in trouble with Demir.
I mean, that's about most
And
of
then,
the except for the beginning part.
and then Kalista was like, fuck Demir, I'm gonna pledge my life to Boros, because Boros is really cool. And then Mirai was like, yeah, you know, Boros is really cool. And then Talon was like, shit, well, if everyone's doing it.
Yeah, that went sharply off the trail.
Was
But
about right.
it like except for the part where everyone joined Boros. I mean Boros, you can fucking hear the bro fist in it. Like their symbol is the bro fist.
Boros. It's like a fucking keg stand chant.
It is. But yeah, that is what happened. And as we closed the session down, people were like scattering to do their own things. And the plan was for you to reconvene at the Caldera, I think, because you were in Precinct 6 already.
Mhm.
Yes.
That is correct. I believe that Ozra was going directly to see Teza, is what she was planning
Also,
on.
Joe, why are you not in Roll20?
I am in Roll20.
I can't see.
Yeah, he's Kalista with the
Yeah,
pink.
I'm there.
Okay, it's
For
my Roll20. That's apparently the problem. Let me read. You feel the love tonight. Oh shit. Oh. Rome, do you know what 10 syndrome is?
The what now?
10 syndrome?
10 syndrome.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called.
I believe it. What's it named? It's a sort of skin disease, as I remember. Something serious, but that's about it. I don't know any details.
Yeah. It's toxic epidermal necrolysis, a potentially life-threatening dermatological disorder where you get like necrosis all over your body and
Oh,
your
wonderful.
mucous membranes. Yeah, it's the side effect of the drug that I'm taking from those.
Wonderful.
I've been reading up on all the side effects. I'm like, this is great.
Oh, I have
just-
an extra question about last session. Did we end up going to get Greater Restore?
Yes, from Kenya.
Yes.
Okay, so my HP is back to normal?
Yeah, everyone
Okay.
was restored greatly.
I think we edited your character sheet to reflect that too, because we kind of took control of you.
Yeah, we used you. And abused you.
Oh,
We
hey.
made you fight without armor. In
What?
other words,
Mom, I didn't
which you
know
would have
my armor.
known with a real recap.
That's, I mean, true.
Well, see, there was like this.
We allowed you to get it
There-
on with your boy because we
Yeah.
were using you as bait.
Yes.
You guys were watching?
No.
Yeah.
Only some.
Mirai and Azrael did accidentally notice
Oh
things
no!
we're seeing which can never be unseen.
Oh no!
Don't worry, it's okay.
No one has ever been sadder about the perception check.
Also, Delta walked in on you. You know when you're getting it on, your house cat just comes in and is just like, meow.
Jumps up on the end of the bed and stairs.
Yeah, because, like, Kalista figured out that there was, like, an actual plot to kill your boyfriend. And she was like, if we tell Cordelia, she will want to rush whoever is responsible. That might not be the best plan. Let's not tell Cordelia and just use them as bait while we try to run interference and keep them safe. And, like, the plan was decent. Of course, the bad guys being like, nah, we're not gonna, we're making a statement. So they just burned down Mirai's building to force you guys out.
Oh.
Yeah.
And we have this music still, which is great.
But, I mean, it's okay.
A sheet holding Cordelia kicking ass in the streets in Precinct 6? Yes. Will there be some stories about the naked pink-haired lady? Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Oh no! Ah, that's awesome.
But we felt like that was what Cordelia
Oh,
was
yeah.
doing.
Absolutely.
So, what would you like to do?
Meet up at the Caldera, right?
I would say
Yeah.
so. That's a
Um,
wonderful spot because standing like right here,
Well, like
burning
we're
things.
all
Terrible
kind
idea.
of still right here, right?
Yeah, you don't want to be caught up when the investigation rolls around.
No.
Not again.
Yeah, not again. Exactly. Like, fuck.
I mean,
We've been through this before.
Well, like we're all right there, still in Precinct 6, right? Like we were also going to check out some more stuff about the Planeswalkers, so we could save a trip and do that first.
yeah, but I
Yeah.
mean, the Caldera is
Sure.
also in Precinct 6.
Oh, that's also true, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would
And
also
okay.
all our
probably like to...
Planeswalker friends hang out
Well,
there.
yeah, that's true. We did find a couple of them
Yeah.
there as well, so yeah, okay, yep. Good plan.
And I would like a room to get dressed. Specifically.
Yeah. Cobblestones hurt your feet.
Not a fan. And the click-clack of steel heels, there's power in that.
So yeah, you managed to to avoid any authority figures coming to investigate the fire, leaving behind only the dead bodies of your enemies and Cordelia's privacy as you make your way to the Caldera. At this point, it is like almost midnight.
Okay. Do we see any of our familiar friends there? Or they're usually there in the morning more, I think, if I recall.
Yeah. No, it is pretty late. There's a couple of the people that you would refer to as furniture. Mainly like old local people who are like retired and don't really have anything else to do, so they just sit there all day playing like board games and cards, dice and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is like the slightly rougher drinking crowd. But it is like fairly late and most people get up early to go to work, so it's not crowded.
Okay.
And you can find your regular table available in the back.
Excellent. Dogs or no dogs?
Azra excuses herself. Go check on her boyfriend,
Okay.
fiance. I'm confused.
I think it's fiance now.
I think so as
Almost
well.
fiance.
No,
Sounds right.
fiance. A proposal didn't occur.
True. So
Are we going to talk more about what just occurred?
I mean, if you want to, there's a few people I have to talk to, let them know that they should probably be more careful, but yeah, we should really probably talk about what happened, and what it means, for everybody going forward.
I'm still pretty confused with everything that happened. So if someone, Kalista, Mirai, could tell me specifically and why you all were there and ready.
Well, so you know that I worked for Demir for a long time now.
Yeah.
Well, I found out that I guess that they wanted Demetrius dead, and so I decided to not let that happen. And I told the others everything, and so yeah, Etrata was the third in command in Demir, and now she's not anymore. Somebody else probably is, but it's probably not good. Yeah.
Okay.
So the man showed up and said that we're at war now, and I don't know if he meant just me or if he meant all of us because we all did a part or what.
Right. So first, thank you. Thank you for doing that for me. That means a lot. Why didn't you tell
Why didn't what?
why didn't you come to me? I mean, like, I think I could have handled it if I knew a little more. Like, maybe wouldn't have to fight naked in the fucking streets.
But I mean, it worked out really well.
Do you not trust me with information?
No, it's not that I don't trust you with information, but it was really personal, and I just thought that maybe you'd be so mad about it, because sometimes I've seen you get really mad, and you do good stuff, but also sometimes just I've noticed that you can react severely to things, and that is something that if it was me even, I would react really severely to. Like, I would probably go crazy. And I just thought that you would actually be safer if we got rid of this person right away, first try, bang, when they didn't know that we all knew and were going to be ready, instead of, possibly like tipping them off. We wanted you to do what mostly it wasn't even that I didn't trust you with the information, it was that we didn't want to tip them off that we knew. So it was like, if they knew, then they would cancel it, and then they would account for having to fight all of us at the same time instead of just having to fight you and Demetrius at the same time. So if everything was natural and they didn't feel like anything was weird going on, then probably we had a better chance to win. That's all.
Oh, okay. So you were so confident that I would be okay and then I would fight well enough that I wouldn't even have to be prepared.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, I have a lot of confidence in you.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So the most I know about Demir is you. What do you think war is like for them?
I mean, I would say probably, War for the Mirror is probably more like they find out every deep dark secret about you and try to use it against you in really painful ways that take a long time and don't exactly like kill you, but they sort of destroy your whole life. And then when you're least expecting it, that's when they stab you in the back.
Oh, is that all?
Oh,
But I'm only guessing because I was never a part of a war. So if you have any deep dark secrets, probably not really secrets for too much longer. I would guess, probably. Or maybe not. Maybe they don't even, maybe they are just, you know, there's people that like talk about how super cool they are and how they are the best at everything, except you never really see them do it. They always tell you stories about from some other time that they did that really cool thing, but they don't do it for you. Maybe that's what the mirror's really like. Maybe that's why we never see them, because there's only like 6 people and they're all just a bunch of liars or something.
phony cowards.
Yeah, that could be that. Could be.
Okay. So we don't really have that much to worry about. I don't have any secrets.
That's good, then you probably won't have to worry about anything.
Just the stabbing in the back part would be the point.
Yeah, I would worry more about the back knives than anything else. But you know what? We've been stalked for months now and haven't found anybody, so who knows if we're even really being stalked or just paranoid, right?
I mean, there was that invisible assassin.
Oh yeah, we did try to
What
get
if they're
killed once.
invisible?
Yeah, I would almost assume for sure that they're invisible. They could be right next to us right now.
What
to be
if
honest.
they've already killed one of us and replaced us?
Oh, that's a good point. Raise your hand if you're real.
Raise his hand.
Mirai
Hands up.
raises her hand.
Raise his hand.
Okay, so none of us are fake.
Except
Good.
maybe Asriel.
Asriel could be the spy. It would have to be a really good actor to be
Alex
Asriel,
would
though.
know. Alex
That's
would
true.
know the difference. That's fine.
Okay.
We have to ask Alex a lot of uncomfortable questions very soon.
And
I
you
would
are
like to
very
not
suited for
participate in that.
Kalista.
What?
You are very inquisitive. I believe
I
that you
am.
would be most suited for this.
I can do it.
I
I
know
believe in
you
myself. Thank you, Talon. Well, I suppose I should. Is he still staying? Where is he staying? Do we know where he's staying? Is he just at his house? Probably just at his house. Where else would he
Probably
be?
just at his house. Yeah.
Alex?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
He doesn't
he's at
work
his
really
house.
late or anything, huh? He's just probably at
I
home.
mean, it depends on his schedule. Probably. I mean, I have a key. I could just go, but I don't want to walk in on something if, like, because I know Ezra's there. Kalista, you can go
Alex
first.
does have house staff. Not a
Okay.
lot, like, but he does have like in-house maid and like a housekeeper. He's a and like he's
Yeah, he's got some status. Okay.
That's my family for you, okay?
Yeah, your dad and your brothers, they like the good life, and like even your mom are roughing it in the barracks.
Okay. So, do we really think that Azra's a spy, though?
No, I was just
I would
positing it as a
suspect-
possibility.
Next time we see her, do you think you can do anything to tell if she's like using an illusion or anything? We could detect the magic, probably, right?
Yeah. Or even true sight at this point.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Oh, that's a really good idea. Then we can know for sure who's a spy.
Also, I didn't want to bring this up, but I can see invisible people as long as they're pretty close to me. At least if I want to.
Why wouldn't you want to see invisible people?
Well, I could also see in the dark or see ghosts, and those are also pretty handy skills. I can only do one
Aren't
at a
ghosts
time.
invisible people?
Well, technically, they're on the ethereal plane, which is a plane that is similar to ours, overlaid on top of ours, but is kind of at a different energy wavelength.
Oh,
Huh. Well,
can we
Well,
go?
you know.
oh yeah, can we be ghosts?
You
Can
can
we
get to the
be
ethereal plane.
unghost?
I can get to the ethereal plane. I don't know about you guys.
Oh.
I believe I can as well.
Oh, look at that! Me and Talon will go hang out in the ethereal plane, and you guys can get stabbed by Demir.
Well, fine. That's not very nice, but whatever.
We obviously
I'd see
wouldn't leave you behind.
Thanks, Taylor.
If you give me a few more months of research, maybe I can get us all to the astral plane.
Ooh.
Well, there we go.
Well, that's a good idea and everything for like worst case scenario, but we should probably make other plans for like what to do here. We have some pretty big problems we still have to get to. And number one, really hoping that we would find some of those strange people here tonight, but I understand. And they'll probably be here in the morning, just like they always are, so not to worry. But we should ask them what they're doing and what's going on and about all of this stuff, because they come from someplace else, and it feels like that's sort of like information that we could use. And maybe they need to know about the ley lines and everything else going on, and they can tell us some stuff that they know, if they know
Well-
anything.
What if that's how they got here?
It really could be. Yeah. And maybe why some... Oh my god, what if that's why some of them can't get back?
Yeah.
Can
Where they're
everyone roll
gone.
me a D100?
Oh,
The
no.
D100?
Hmm?
Oh!
Wow, nice.
Well, some
The
shit's about to
dichotomy in my
happen,
head.
one way or another.
Oh no.
What are the chances?
1 in
Well,
100.
1 in 100. Oh,
Oh no! Oh no!
Your
Was this
fault.
like some divine knowledge that Mirai just went? "Hmm,
oh boy.
the ley lines are
boy.
connected."
Well, Mirai is going to spot that Cordelia is suddenly replaced.
Oh no! I'm the spy.
You're the spy. Oh.
You're the spy now, dog. Fucking Sean Connery. Huh.
Okay, so real quick, why do we have to find planeswalkers? Just to talk to them about the ley lines and stuff, or
Well, yeah, it's just see what they've been up to and what they've been observing, and if there's any overlap. Like, maybe there is no connection.
Sorry, say again?
What?
so at this point in time in session, why is one of our main goals to talk to planeswalkers?
Because we've been relatively out of touch with them, and they may have information that's important
Why is
to
the
us.
reason eluding me right now?
Am I not coming through on the mic?
Hmm.
Hello?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah? Hi.
Oh, you're back. Hello.
Huh. Well, that's weird. Okay. Because it shows that my mic's getting input, but it's not going to Discord. Let me close Discord and reopen.
Oh, okay.
Oh. What? Huh. Oh, hello.
Hey.
Okay, so maybe this will be better. I don't know.
Eh,
I'm hoping so. You can
Well,
still
we
hear
heard
me?
that.
I mean, we
so,
can hear you,
yeah.
so.
Okay. I think it was just not in administrator mode, and it was like only talking when I was in certain
Oh,
windows, and it's been
sure.
really weird.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so I think we're better.
As that happens, you just see Mirai
Oh no.
groan in pain and like bent over, like almost curling into a fetal position, like going into shock.
Oh no.
Mirai, we don't have to talk about ley lines if you don't want to.
No, it's not that. I just.
You get stabbed?
No, I don't think so. Unless I was stabbed on a different plane. I don't. It's fine. I'll be fine.
It doesn't sound like it. What happened?
So 5 of those is to end a poison because Delia has no idea what's happening.
It felt like there were just a million inventions spread out in front of me, but then someone hoisted them all away from me. Maybe it's just stress of the day.
Oh.
I would say I doubt that, given the fact that we are now dealing with Demir.
So, hold on. You are keeled over in pain because you had so many ideas and then they went away?
I know what this is. This was my brain expanding. I was the smartest wizard on Ravnica, but now I must rival even Niv-Mizzet, who is, of course, dead, so that makes me, like, twice the smartest wizard.
No.
Was the pain in your head?
Like, I don't know if I believe in a soul, but maybe somewhere there about.
You and your soul.
It kind of felt like my brain expanded and then it was torn away from me. I'm sure
Oh.
that's fine.
That doesn't sound fine. Does anybody else think that
does not.
Okay.
No, it really doesn't.
No.
That sounds like.
I feel better now. I just feel like something is like, I don't know, missing.
Which is terrible, because what if it was taken by someone we do not want it to be taken by?
You already lost your well, not only
Sanity.
your sanity. You said it, not mine. Your words.
Which I figure I don't need it.
Also, you.
It was holding you back.
It was holding me back.
It was not. But
no.
It's okay.
You guys should see some of the inventions I've been working on since
I
I lost
actually
that.
really want to. Do you have any like designs with you that I could see?
I'm afraid you'd have to come to my secret laboratory with me.
What's everyone's passive perception?
22.
Not quite that.
Nice.
I'm
like
observant.
12.
16.
It's 10 plus your perception thing.
Yep.
Mhm.
9.
Yes, I knew it. It's amazing.
Roan, you do see Sahili coming down the stairs. She looks shaken, um, ashen faced, and she heads straight for like the bar where Kairos is cleaning a glass because that's all Kairos ever does.
Well, by all accounts, there is, and I just motion towards her, and she looks worse for wear. Mayhaps.
See, Healy, no, there's someone who would understand
Uh,
about your brain expanding and having your soul
that,
ripped away.
of course, that
Yeah.
is in. Yes.
And I should come with. Everybody should surround her, but keep a safe distance just so she doesn't feel too pressured.
We could also just invite her over.
I was too shy to do this before, but now that I just wholly improved, I'm just gonna go get a drink with Sahili.
Yeah,
Do
good
that.
idea.
You know what? I could use a drink too.
All right, come on. I'm just gonna walk to the bar.
Yeah, and you see like Kairos pouring her a glass. It looks to be water. And she drinks it. Her hand trembles a little bit as she raises the glass to her mouth.
Sahili, hi. Long time no talk.
Hello, Mirai.
Mirai. Is everything okay?
I don't know. I was sleeping and there was just pain.
Pain, yeah. Wait, that wouldn't be like a minute ago, would it?
Yeah.
I doubled over in pain just a few minutes ago.
You see her lean back and like give you a considering look.
Happened when we started talking about how maybe ley lines being broken, or the reason that you couldn't travel around anymore.
I mean, I wasn't involved in that conversation. Wait, what do you mean ley lines are broken?
Yeah, there's a broken ley line. In a different plane, we found it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's on another... Wait, how did you get to another plane?
A fish.
Well, it's one that's connected to this plane like a Venn diagram. I don't think it's like one of the ones you've been to.
Well, that's how we got back.
Oh yeah, that's right. How did we
There
get...
was a
Oh yeah, it was a...
Stargate and a
We were
giant
kidnapped.
sea monster.
Yeah. But we got there in the first place because of a crazy ferryman.
Metal man. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Well,
had a metal arm and really metal lots of things. And he experimented on us. It wasn't a great time, but
What do you
Of
mean he
course.
had a metal arm?
we had like a lot of metal parts actually. It was like a machine kind of.
It was like an old man, but also made of functioning metal. Like his metal arm worked like a normal arm.
pretty like dark looking steel with like some flashing lights and quite the scary character. Of course, we soundly trounced him once we woke up from his dark experiment.
What did
He-
he look like?
A little on the maybe older side, like 40s, 50s, and like dreads, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And his arm, was it like a human arm or Did
A
it
little
have
more-
claws?
A little more spindly, wasn't
it?
it?
Was like claws. He had claws on it.
Yeah.
Do you know what his name was?
I
No.
think we have his journal still,
Yeah, I
don't
have a
we?
journal. Yeah, I
Oh.
took some stuff from his library. Let me see here. I remember. Let me flip through.
Didn't it start with like a T?
Yeah, it did. Hold
There's
on, I have it
Z's
right
in
here.
there too.
It's Tezzeret.
That
Right here. And I'll just like point to a page in the journal.
does not seem. And you said you killed him?
Well,
Well,
Whoa.
we killed him, but then his body kind of like
it disappeared. It moved away.
Yeah. Like maybe he was a wizard, so it could have been some magic.
But you know what definitely died was Niv Mizzet. He was headless in this laboratory.
Yeah, and there was like weird stuff going in and out of him and tubes and
Which then were connected to us intravenously, which is
yeah. Do you think there will be side effects like
I feel like I can jump higher.
well, yeah,
don't
he
know if
was
that's-
like being used as a pump, Niv Mizzet's heart, to pump like leyline juice into us, so I'm
Yeah.
sure that had no consequences whatsoever.
is my hair pink?
Yeah, your hair's
Like,
pink.
like
It's
pretty
always pink.
vibrant.
Yeah. Why?
Cool. Leyline juice sounds like it would be really good for your hair health.
You know, I was gonna say it looks much more shiny. I don't know if it was like the smoke from the fire.
Thank you.
Well, considering a house almost burned down around you, your hair looks really fab.
Yay.
Well, it sounds like you have had a most interesting week. I think I have not met this man that you speak of, but I think I have heard of him.
Really? Where did you hear of him before?
Mutual friends.
Well, maybe we should have conversation with these mutual friends.
If they're actually friends and not, you know.
Well, I hope you don't mind me going so far as to say I think we might have mutual enemies at this point.
Can I ask you a question? Will you answer it honestly?
Sure.
Okay. So, how come all of people like you are coming to Ravnica at the same time? Why did you come?
I'm not sure. It was not my intended goal, but it was like I was called here.
Do you know by what? What did it feel like?
Like a pull in my soul.
Do you remember when?
Um, I don't know when it started. Maybe a few years ago. It wasn't strong. In the beginning, it was just like an idea. Like someone mentioned something and it's an idea that you cannot fully shake. But then it just kept growing stronger. Like a more insistent.
And since you got here, has it been getting worse?
No. It's more like, well, I was pulled here, and some of my friends and acquaintances as well. This is not the first time something like this has happened, but sometimes a place needs and it I don't know how to it sends a call out in the universe, and those who can hear it, well, they can come. But that's not what this felt like. This felt more like a demand, not a plea for help.
Hmm.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because the information that we have on these broken ley lines uh, basically sums up to it's going to destroy everything. And if you're saying that you and your like friends were felt such a pull here, which is usually when things are in trouble, but it was really serious, like a demand, we might need to get everyone possible together to look and pool resources to figure this out.
I see. I suppose I could arrange for a meeting.
That would be good. We're working with some independent agents as well as the Izzet League to send teams to the plane where the ley line is broken and it's affecting the whole, like all of the trees and all the life there too. But there are already some people that are getting ready to make their way there and to work on it. But the more people and different experiences we can bring to it, I'm sure it's probably the better it will be.
Especially people with extra planar experience.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes these pictures don't make themselves obvious until you put all the pieces together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I am not sure how many I could. Some of us are more inclined to our privacy than others. but I could try to gather those I can.
Please, if you need any help with anything, this is a grand goal that we all share.
Okay, yeah, I can do that. I will gather those I can.
Sorry to put all this on you when you came down here because you were feeling awful. But we've been meaning to talk with you for a while, I think.
Well, I am. I think most of my friends would have felt what I felt. And knowing that, I have a friend here who might be able to help us.
That would be good.
Well, he could at least get the call out.
What is your friend's name?
Tamio?
That's a nice name.
She is. It's not like it's. We should really be somewhere more private. I can explain more. Maybe take it up to my room.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever you're most comfortable with.
Entirely fair.
Yeah, we can even enchant your room, I'm sure, between the two of us. Keep spying ears away.
That would be good. And she leads you up the stairs. She's on like the floor underneath Azra's apartment, and she has like a room. It's like a hotel room. Like it's half the size of Azra's apartment, so it's cramped. Okay. So, planeswalking, I don't know. There are many ways to travel between the planes. Magic, portals, but some people are born with the ability to do it instantly. But you don't know until it is. We all have a spark inside of us, and we don't know what we are until that spark is awakened. If you are in very close proximity to another planeswalker, especially if they are young and unexperienced, you can sort of feel their spark coming.
Hmm.
But it's not like how you say a guild. We don't all know each other. We're all people with our own motivations and wants and needs. our own allegiances and alliances. Just because you are one doesn't mean you know all. There are planeswalkers that are older than this world. Because when the spark triggers, it keeps you. And the only way you can die is to have your spark destroyed.
So let's imagine, is there some way to test if you have it?
Maybe. It's not my area of expertise. I mean, if it is
assume
active, then yes, but I know that there are people who have tried to find it
Yeah.
before it has been activated. And in those cases, well, it's generally not good magic. Why would you have a need to find powerful people before they become powerful? I mean, I guess someone could say to teach them or to guide them, but just because you have the spark doesn't mean it's going to trigger. Some people live out their entire lives and they die completely natural death because nothing has ever happened to them to awaken their spark. But once it is awakened, it changes who you are. Because you are, by most standards, immortal. Which limits how long you can stay in a place before people start asking questions. People treat you differently when they know that cold and fire and hunger, those things cannot kill you. You can simply walk away from.
You know, I would love to study this plains hopping condition.
Well, I have every faith that you will, seeing as you are one.
Oh,
So I
that's
didn't
not a
want to
very funny
say
joke.
it, but
Look,
I'll
I
just
considered that, but I can't go anywhere. I tried.
yeah. So since nobody else was saying it, you described this whole spark thing as like a feeling in your soul, and just a coincidence. A couple minutes ago, my good friend Mirai here described having a pain that felt like it was in her soul. So, do you think that maybe your spark just got taken away from you?
Well, I hope not. It doesn't.
No,
Wouldn't that mean I would die?
Or ignited.
Or like,
she was
no.
not a planeswalker the last time we spoke, but she is one now.
Interesting.
You should probably learn to shield yourself sooner rather.
Yeah.
The spark, there are many theories why some people are planeswalkers and others are not. In truth, they are all just that, theories. But one thing is true, is that all planeswalkers are powerful. Some, especially the older ones, more powerful than others. But there is a theory that the spark comes with a potential for power, and it doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care if you're a good person or a bad person. So there are as many of us inclined to benevolence as there is those who are inclined to cruelty. And most of us are just people. We love and we hate with equal measure. So, as I said, you would want to shield sooner rather than later.
And how would I do that?
Meditation mostly. You have to find the spark within you and then protect it somehow. Some people build walls in their mind, some imagine it in the middle of an Arctic wasteland. It's different for every person.
Or like tucking it secret and safe in a secret lab, mental secret lab. I got you.
Yeah. My friend, she is, how you say, someone who seeks to document truth, a collector of stories.
It's a noble goal.
But because she collects stories mainly about planeswalkers, she is aware of many that I am not. If they are on Ravnica, she would most likely be the person. She could send out a call.
That sounds like the best thing to do. We can start to do it. Would be a really good start.
She removes like one of the sections of the armbands that cover her entire arm. And it's sort of like comes alive as like a tiny, like we would say it's a drone, but to you it looks like a small, like a hand-sized insectoid metal creature with wings.
Okay.
Oh my god, it's alive.
And opens a window and sort of lets it out.
Mirai, can you make them?
I don't know. Did it work?
Well, you
No.
didn't use anything. You have to use something.
True. But I assume if these sort of things come from being a planeswalker, then it's probably tailored to the person the spark resides in.
Mirai, when you said that it felt like it hurt your soul, right around where in your body was that? Like, was it here? Like, I'll poke
It
her in
was
the rib.
almost like I realized I had a fifth limb, and then it was taken away from me.
Do you remember where the limb was located? Like, was it near tummy?
Can you
or
wiggle your
It
spark?
was like
near
a
neck?
mind limb. It didn't have a specific spot. Does that make sense?
No. So you're saying it was in your head?
Like the mind, I don't think specifically resides in the brain. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but
What do you mean? Of course your mind is in your head. It's in your brain. Duh. She's a scientist. I knew that.
the brain is incredibly important. But I think the mind might reside as some kind of cosmic magical entity.
Well, maybe.
What?
But I've never seen. Well, actually, that isn't true. Well, you know what? Maybe someday we'll find this limb, and you'll be able to use it to like kick stuff with.
Well, all these other planes walking people, they're in the same boat as me, right? None of us can seem to go anywhere. So maybe when we resolve this, some things will become more clear for.
At least I can't stop giggling.
Huh?
Nothing. It's fine.
I have requested for her to summon a meeting tomorrow.
That's a good idea. What time should we meet at, or where should we be?
I assume she will get back to me with the details.
Okay.
But if we were to reconvene at noon,
Noon. Okay, yeah. Just here in your room.
I mean, downstairs will probably be fine.
Okay. I just wasn't sure how private it needed to be. But okay, yes, noon tomorrow. Can do that.
Okay. You should all try to get some rest, especially you. And she looks at Mirai.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
You will need your rest, and sleep will help you.
Okay. Good night. See you tomorrow.
Yes, I will see you all in the morning.
Clump, clump, clump. Well, that might be good news or bad news. I'm not sure which. But good that we're planning something with her.
I think this has been the weirdest fucking day since we woke up in a lab.
That's been a pretty weird one.
That was a great day. I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
I got to almost kill you all.
I didn't say it wasn't great. I said it was weird.
Fucking squad goals, am I right?
Right?
Cordelia,
Huh? Yeah?
do you think that you're a planeswalker too?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, I kind of thought so.
Yeah. I think you are too. I think everyone is a planeswalker. You just have to be in the right situation.
I don't know if I am one. I'm probably not. But
I think so.
Seemed to me to be kind of strange the way it was described.
Like, what do you mean that like it's another limb? It's like having another toe, right?
Well, but I mean, she did say inside of you, so I don't know. Like, do you have a lot of limbs inside you a lot of the time?
Well, no, but like,
Are you
okay,
sure?
so
Because Azra kind of told me that maybe you did.
Lisa, it's a metaphorical limb.
It's well, but
No,
limbs are both sometimes literal and metaphorical.
hold on. What if it's like, you know how like when you're breathing and you don't think about breathing and you don't even really feel your lungs, but then like you think about breathing and then suddenly you can feel every movement your lungs make. Like I think that's the spark. Like you just have to figure it out and then it's there.
That's actually
Not
a
the
pretty
worst
good.
description.
No.
Yeah.
Perhaps
So
you're
like
a
we just have to
planeswalker after
find
all.
it. So like let's go and solve some fucking mystery. Let's go fight crime and beat the shit out of people and we'll all have sparks, okay?
That is an adorable thought.
Although there is the slightest possibility that the experiments Tezzeret were running on us is to make artificial sparks.
We have bad sparks.
Terrifying thought.
Artificial doesn't have to mean
That's-
bad, but
He was a bad dude, Mirai.
like Sahili said, like there are good planeswalkers and bad planeswalkers. A spark
But
doesn't.
But
I
if
think he
it's
was
an
pretty much
artificial,
definitely a bad one, and maybe he would only make,
Well,
like Talon said, if it's artificial, maybe they can control if it makes you good or bad.
What?
What
Mirai.
if
you're wrong.
Mirai's the
Like,
bad guy now?
Fair.
Mirai couldn't be the bad guy if she tried.
Okay, but like Mirai,
mm,
if you start thinking any mean or bad thoughts, you tell us. Like,
Yeah,
if
tell us.
you're-
is the thought that I'm now the most powerful person on all of Ravnica, is that a bad thought?
No.
No, Sahili would kick your ass. Sorry.
Mm. But I'm smarter than her, right?
Yes.
I'm smarter than her.
Uh-huh.
She's pretty great, but I mean, I am the smartest.
Yeah.
All right, I'm glad we got that settled. Let's go to bed.
All right. I'm gonna head to my place and talk to Nimble a little bit and keep her some company, and then go to sleep. And I'll see you in the morning or afternoon.
Out of character question, where did Demetrius go? Is he
Oh, he's with you. He's been with you the entire fucking time.
She's just a
Like,
little shell shocked.
yeah, like you're talking about all this crazy stuff, and he's just like wide-eyed, being like, he did leave for a second to get like pants, and he stole some that I mean, you can probably guess that they're Alex's clothes that he took from Azra's apartment, which she has been in multiple times. But yeah, he's there.
Hey, Demetrius. So with everything that's happened, I'm thinking the barracks are probably going to be the safest place again.
But your mom.
What about her?
Well, she was there.
Yeah.
She walked in on me in. Well, she didn't see. I had to hide under your bed.
Sorry. She didn't notice?
No. I think she was looking for you.
Of course she was. I've been avoiding her a little bit. I should probably talk to her.
You think?
You know what? I don't want to hear any lip from you, okay?
You were not objecting about my lips earlier.
Oh my god.
That's different. So you're coming. I'll deal with Mom if it comes up.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I call my mom. Don't do that.
My apologies. Mistress?
Ugh!
My lady?
What, do you
Your
have a
royal
fedora?
I have one in my disguise kit.
Give him a
Yeah, he
fedora
looks
right now.
interested at the thought of a fedora.
Yeah, here.
What's wrong with a fedora?
Oh, nothing. It's just a really specific look.
That's usually accompanied by a very particular personality.
And a really specific beard.
Do not grow a beard, Dimitri.
You have to grow a beard if you're gonna wear the fedora.
Okay,
It
we're
has to
leaving.
be along the neckline.
Where are we meeting up at?
Just here. At
Anywhere
noon.
beforehand? Here tomorrow? Okay.
Yeah, would be best.
Okay, I will be here in the morning. We'll see what happens if you want to come along or not.
I actually have some things to deal with probably tomorrow. I mean, if Demir just declared a blood feud on all of us, I think I have some people I might want to talk to.
Oh.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You should do that.
You have to be careful, though. No more of this murder plot.
Hey, I was the one being murdered.
Why did they
I
want to
know.
murder you anyway?
That's what I mean.
I mean, it's the mirror. Do they, like, they're all, like, secrets and stuff? Maybe I know something. I wish I
What
knew
do you know?
what.
Tell us.
I mean, I know a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I just wish I knew what they would consider important enough to murder someone. And I mean, it could just be an attempt to get at Cordelia.
I suppose.
Or it could have something to do with my work in Orzhov.
I mean, probably has to do something with your work in Orzhov. Knowing how they operate, they probably.
And what's going on right now.
Right.
Yeah. So I think I have to check in with Orzhov, check in with my friends, make sure that they know I'm keeping a low profile.
Okay. I'll make sure to talk to my mom and make sure she's aware that you're staying and not in an interrogation chamber.
Okay. I mean, it's not that I'm opposed to the interrogation chamber. I mean, you could get the cuffs out. Could be interesting.
I don't have enough gold to pay a guard to go away for enough time.
Well, I mean, you still have the cuffs though, right?
Yes, but I also have a pair in my room.
Well, what are we waiting here for?
Okay, good night, guys.
Why are you arresting people in your room?
Don't think about it, Callista.
You'll find out when you're older.
I pray not.
Very confused.
It's also hysterical because I think Cordelia is only like 3 years older than Calista.
And part of the reason that you know each other is Callista's ex-boyfriend.
For like a month.
Yeah. So, Cordelia and her boo is heading back to Boros. What are the rest of you doing?
I'll go last.
I guess I'll stay here because my apartment burned down. My parents are working on the extra dimensional problem we have.
Yes. I mean, you
Asher's
do.
gone. I don't want
And
to
it's
crash in her place, but
Safe-ish
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Yeah,
Astra's apartment is, available.
gotta meditate and contain my spark. Otherwise, I might get jumped on the way to like anywhere else I'd go. And the Is It dorm smells like burnt copper.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
your mom's apartment is cozy, but it's also in precinct 3. Which,
Yeah,
like, it's far.
it's a long ways. I don't know. I'm just gonna stay here. Yep.
Why don't you give me a wisdom save for how your mental walls are coming? Your spark protectant.
Yep. Here we go. It's one of my lowest. Oh,
Nice.
you know what? It's
Oh.
not
I
bad
mean,
for.
you are the smartest wizard on all of Ravnica, and you're like, bada bing, bada boom. I just gotta like your interior, like your after an hour, you're like putting down knickknacks in your imaginary laboratory.
Right.
Like, oh, I
It's
need a paperweight here.
it's protected by walls and walls of megalomania at this point.
Yes. Talon.
Yeah, Tatum would just go back home, and at some point during dinner get together, probably break the news that may want to, just for the sake of brevity, just tell that be at least a little cautious, because having pissed off some Demir dudes wasn't the smartest idea, but well, it happened.
Yeah, I think your brother seems quite concerned at the mention of you having pissed off Demir. He's like, what do you mean you pissed off some Demir dudes?
Well, going by slightly reliable sources, it would seem we may or may not have accidentally or not killed a very high-ranking Demir person.
So when you say accidentally or not, I'm assuming it's the not.
They sort of attacked us, so it was self-defense.
I mean, have you tried talking to them, explaining it was all a misunderstanding?
Well, right after it happened, another one, unknown, appeared, told us that, in very diplomatic terms, we are now at war, and then disappeared. So I don't think that talking to them would be the best option right now.
Look, I mean, I might know some people who might know some people. I mean, they're not great people, but
I'm not surprised.
they're fairly reliable. Just keep a low profile and I can see what kind of information I can ferret out about how serious this is.
Any sort of information or help would be greatly appreciated, not only for me, my friends who are also involved, but also for, well, us, since I accidentally dragged all of you into this.
Wait, were your friends there? Does this have any connection to the naked pink-haired woman fighting in Precinct 6?
If I say no, would you believe me?
Not when you say it in that sort of tone.
There was probably a very naked Boros in the streets.
Wait, why was she naked?
Well, we sort of used her as bait, and she was with her
mean-
boy, and they attacked and set fire to where she was having her fun.
Damn, what a waste.
In what way?
I mean, I've met her. She's prime real estate.
Well, the prime real estate is taken, so
Yeah, but like probably with some wet soap with only 2 legs and no idea how to, you know.
well, she wouldn't be able to handle what we offer, so it is all right.
Well, you try to get some rest. I'll shake a couple of trees, see what falls out.
Well, don't shake them too hard. We
I
don't
know
want
how to
you,
keep a low profile.
said the person who ended up in what prison?
Look, you were right there with me.
Because we were looking for you. I never said I was good at this.
Well, I've been doing this for a long time. I'll be fine.
Just don't get yourself killed because of my mistakes.
Look at this handsome face. Who would ever want to kill me?
Everyone.
That is so incredibly mean. I
What
cannot
is?
believe you said that to me.
It's
My
not entirely untrue.
My
Is it?
own brother.
I mean,
He just
specifically Azorius.
like until you fall asleep, you just hear him like whining about how mean you are and like telling your mom how mean like what you like he's like, "Mom, do you know what Talon said to me?" And
And
she's
all
like,
I can
"Was
think
it
is,
bad? Did you deserve it?"
I mean, that's all that's in Talon's head.
Mm-hmm.
So
And Khalees,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
Well, I have to go check on Nim. I have some people to organize and tell some things about. To be ready for, like Eva and Ferellan, and the whole Meaden family and all of that. Like, be on alert.
Mm-hmm. So you do notice a new thing about your hideout.
Oh,
Yeah. There's a lot of water lilies.
yes.
It looks very pretty. It doesn't look like a sewer at all, which, you know, might be a dead giveaway to some people.
Yeah, could be.
I can
They're
hook you up with an
also
illusion.
like the sewer just outside your hideout has sort of been transformed into a koi pond.
Nice, I like it.
There also seems to be a quite large octopus living there. Nim
wow.
said she was getting lonely and required a friend.
I'm so glad that you found one.
His name is Todd.
Todd. It's nice to meet you, Todd.
He waves 3 limbs at you.
Oh, I like what you've done with the place.
Thank you.
I have to talk to Pharrellin about maybe enclosing it a little bit, some illusions, because it is sort of meant to be a hideout, and now it's sort of a standout. But I like to have a standout hideout. It's way better this way, and it looks much cuter, and I just don't want people to find it.
I refuse to live in filth.
As you should.
I have standards.
As you should.
Good.
And it's
As
much
long as we
better.
understand each other.
So, there's
And
some
if
news.
enemies attack, I can strangle them with the seaweed.
That's true. Oh my gosh, do you know how good it would be? You could spend so much time and energy and ideas on like different ways to make traps down here for unwelcome guests that wouldn't hurt regular guests that are just passing along or trying to find me for friendly reasons.
How would I know the difference?
Well, yeah, sometimes it's hard to know.
So for right now, I'll just strangle everyone that I haven't met.
Do you know what? What if there's a password?
Okay. Nim is the greatest is the password.
Nim is the greatest. Okay, so if I tell anybody to come in through the sewer, I'll tell them if you start to get strangled. Oh, but that's going to be tough to say if they're getting strangled.
If they fall in the water.
I'll tell them don't fall in the water or you'll get strangled.
I mean, the seaweed can strangle them if they're standing on the edge. I'll just pull them in with the seaweed.
Oh, well, what if you didn't do that to everybody? What if you gave them an
I mean,
opportunity to give you the
what if
password
I
first?
pull them into the water and I will give them like 5 seconds before I strangle them so they can say the password?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
And I'll tell them that they're probably going to get sucked into the water and not to panic and forget.
At least I've seen some people down here. They're filthy. At least they'll be clean.
Oh, but they'll be dead.
Well, not if they say that I'm the greatest.
But what if they're just like poor people that came to the wrong place and they didn't know any better? But they shouldn't have to die.
I mean, if they seem nice, I might make friends with them.
Okay, yeah, try to make friends with people. That's a good idea.
What should I do about the soldiers?
What soldiers?
The ones that are down here?
What? Whose soldiers are down here?
I don't know, but they're wearing like armor.
What colors?
I don't know. Like it's always very dark down here. Gray? Like they all look gray down here. Nim has dark vision, but you know, it's just normal dark
True.
vision. So in the darkness, everything seems gray.
Have they been like...
They haven't been like right here, but well, when I've been in the water, like finding plants and where I found Todd, I saw some soldiers. Different kinds.
What do you mean different kinds?
Well, there were some that was like they smelled like mushrooms and fungi. They seemed pretty nice.
It's probably the Golgari.
And then there were some that was wearing like very clangy armor and they had like helmets and stuff. Few different ones of those. And then there was the dark ones. I didn't like them. They felt icky.
The dark ones.
Yeah, I can't kill them. Well, maybe I can if I tear them apart, but they won't drown.
What
They
do you
don't
mean?
breathe.
They don't breathe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are dead.
Nim, that's not good.
I know. It's not natural.
Have you seen them a lot?
No, I would say I see the mushroom people more, but I've seen them a couple of times. They smell really bad, like dead things. I mean, the mushroom people smell like dead things, but like dead things that used to be alive, kind of. But they just smell like old death.
Absolutely. If there's any way that you can kill them, do that. But don't put yourself in any danger just to do that.
I'm gonna need more seaweed.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, don't chase them or anything. Just if they want to pass by, let them pass by, but don't let them in your space. I'll try to find out more about that because that's not something that should be here at
Okay,
all.
that's good. I don't like them. They smell really bad.
Thanks, Nim. So I think also probably I'll show you a design for something, and if somebody has like a token with it, then that means that me or somebody that I trust gave it to them and that they're allowed to be here. So that maybe like somebody that can't talk can also like show you a way that they're okay.
Yeah, I mean, if they're like babies, and I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't kill a baby.
But I mean, like, even somebody that just doesn't have the ability to use their voice.
Oh, like why? Why wouldn't you
Well,
be able
sometimes you're born and you can't talk, and other times, like, maybe somebody had a really bad
I'll
injury to
just
their
give
neck.
them a voice so they can use it. Fine.
Okay.
Or they can say it with telepathy.
And pretty much nobody can do that.
Sure, they can.
Okay, well, I'll just make the symbol anyway, just in case they can't communicate telepathically.
I
Just an
mean,
off
if they
chance.
have the symbol, I don't have to pull them into the water. I guess
Right.
that's okay.
Yeah, that'd be good. Okay.
But can I still pull them into the water if they're really dirty? And
Gently, and if they say it's okay.
what if they really stink?
Then just kindly let them know, and that you would offer them a free bath if they want one. Yep.
You can tell that Nim's like,
But I really want to pull people in.
yeah, yeah, I really wanna just soak them real good.
I'm sure that if you offer them to have a swim in your wonderful habitat, it is beautiful that they would gladly accept and take you up on the offer.
Yes.
Okay, I have to talk to some more of my people. They'll be coming, probably not through the sewer, but maybe. But don't drag them in, please.
Oh well, if they say I'm the greatest.
They're not gonna know it yet. This is what the meeting is for, is to tell them. A temporary moratorium on dragging people into the water for like the next few hours, please.
Fine.
Thank you, Nim. Yeah, so other than that, you know, kind of gathering people, letting them know the situation, and making my own, you know, business plans with them. That's pretty much it. Morning, I guess I would swing by Orzova, take care of, you know, the pre-lunch important business there. And yeah, make my way to the caldera, get there a little bit early, to sum up the last one there, hopefully.
Cool. That sounds fine. So with everyone getting a long rest, that is where we're gonna take our break.
Okay.
Woo!
'Cause I gotta go pee, and then we
Break.
shall reconvene in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What are y'all up to? I assume you're all heading to the caldera.
Yes.
Well, what time do we have to be there? Around lunchtime? Right?
Noon, yeah.
So
You got
that
plenty of time.
morning.
Are you gonna go see your mom?
Yeah.
Nice.
Good call.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, Delia would probably go probably first thing in the morning to her chambers and/or office, wherever she would be. I have a feeling Delia would know her traditional schedule.
Okay. Yeah, you can find her like in the morning. She's normally doing drills up until about like 9 o'clock, and then she's in her office doing paperwork after that.
Okay. I feel like this is more of a private conversation, so Delia would wait until she's in her office.
Mm-hmm. Enter.
Good morning.
Cordelia, there you are. I've been looking for you.
Yeah, I've heard. I'm sorry. I've been getting dragged all over. Literally all over.
Are you well?
I'm better now, but still in the middle of a very serious investigation. Um, there's there's a couple things that I need to talk to you about.
Okay.
One we're gonna wait on for another time. It's too much to throw at you at once, but most importantly is I have a boyfriend.
Oh. Well, I'm very happy for you, I suppose. When will we... Is it that nice Reznov boy? You should bring him over for dinner sometime.
No, he's not nice at all, Mom. There's a term we use for him, but it's not nice either. No, he's
If it's more of an I have to, I feel like he's much too old for you.
no, he's not too old. He's oh gosh, he's kind of between guilds right now. And he's in a lot of trouble.
Well, there
Actually,
worse
he is,
things.
and so am I and my friends. Yeah, you should probably know too that Demir's probably going to be hunting all.
Hunt. Demir is a glorified post office guild. What kind of business would they have hunting you?
So my boyfriend, Demetrius is his name. Good, sturdy, strong name, right? Yeah. He was Demir, and then they decided to put a hit out on him, and they attacked him and I while we were together. But my friends and I and him squashed it, and we may have killed Demir's third in command.
Well, that's a lot to unpack.
But look at how healthy I am.
Well, sweetheart, of course I'm glad that your boyfriend protected you in what appeared to be trouble of his own doing. I think maybe dinner. Tonight you should bring him. Say 6 o'clock.
Just the three of us, right? Not Dad.
Of course, your father and your brothers. I understand your older brother is getting a fiance to a very nice girl. He's told me all about her. Orsov, which is unfortunate, but I'm sure we can recruit her to.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with her. She's really good
Wonderful.
for Norzov. Really good for Norzov.
Well, that's good. I'm hoping that one of you will see fit to give me grandchildren sooner rather than later. God knows none of you are getting any younger.
Yeah, that's probably going to be Alex. I don't want to be out of commission for too long yet. I'm
You want to take command before you take any time off. But it is understood you are a woman of a good family, and well, no one would hold it against you.
Are you suggesting I retire early?
Good heavens, no. Why would you retire just because you have children?
I thought you lost your mind for a moment.
Apparently, this boyfriend of yours is currently unemployed. I'm sure he would be happy to be a good house husband, taking care of children, raising them, right?
You know, I think he would be more helpful on the field with me.
Oh, so he is capable. Well, that's something. Is it serious? How long have you been seeing this boy?
Well, we've been off and on for several years, and you know, I've finally stopped
why
being
off and on?
well, he was I met him when he was under the identity of Orzov, which you know my feelings on Orzovians.
I see.
And
So this boy is some sort of spy then?
he used to be. Mm-hmm.
And how do you know that his seduction of you say you met him a couple of years ago? How old were you? 16, 17?
16.
Was this boy preying on you?
No, he was. We're around the same age, Mom.
So, were you intimate with this boy?
Not for a while.
Cordelia, I raised you better.
What?
Well, is he
It's
at least
not the
prepared
worst.
to make an honest woman out of you now?
I'm unsure. I don't know. There's been a lot more important things happening.
Cordelia, how do you expect to find a good husband if you're giving away your milk for free? No one's going to buy the cow if they know they can get the milk for free.
It depends on what tricks that cow can do.
Cordelia, there's no reason to be uncouth.
Mom, I have more to offer than milk.
Well, of course you have. But men are, in general, quite stupid. Case in point, see your father. They're simple creatures. They need a firm hand guiding them.
What I know is Demetrius has been by my side and helping me in more ways than you could even realize for years. Even when I treated him poorly, he was always the first person by my side if I needed him. If I needed anyone, he was.
So do you love this boy?
Yes.
Have you told him that?
No.
Oh, heavens. Why are children such a curse? Cordelia, have a seat.
Just sit down.
I've always tried to be a good mother to you. I understand that some mothers might be more on the affectionate side, but I think I've always known that I love them and I want them to be happy. And I was disappointed in your brothers going to Azorius, but I was thrilled that you were following in my footsteps, going into Boros. And out of all the siblings, you're probably the one who is most like myself. Stubborn, headstrong, good qualities that will get you ahead in Boros. A strong sense of right and wrong and morality. But I look at you now and I think, is this my doing? My trying to sell you on the idea of Boros have somehow poisoned you against the other guilds, that you meet this boy and you're together for years and you're incapable of telling him your feelings for him. Is this my doing? Did I make you this way?
I don't blame you. I don't blame Dad. I don't blame Alex or Broderick. I never wanted to disappoint either of you, any of you.
Cordelia, You will. You have disappointed. But that is not the end of the world. As a parent, you want your child to be successful at everything. If possible, the very first time they try something. But those are my failings, not yours. The only time you've truly hurt me is when you keep secrets, when you don't trust me in being your mother. You're my child, and though I might not always agree with your actions, that doesn't mean that I love you any less. But I sometimes feel like you don't trust me. And that in turn means I cannot trust you to tell me the truth about what is going on in your life. And that has been difficult. And I feel it has created a distance between us that I'm not sure how to make that less. But I want to.
I want to too.
And yes, your father has a mighty rod shoved up his butt. But he loves you too. He is, if possible, even worse than me at showing you how he feels, but we're both very proud of you and your brothers. You've grown up to people that it's a pleasure to know. So, if you've met this boy and you love him, then you should bring him home. And we will treat him terribly because you're our only girl and that is our prerogative. But if you love him and he loves you, then he will tough it out and prove himself to be worthy of you, and we will come to accept it.
Thank you.
Now stop being such a fucking coward and tell the boy that you love him. If it's hard to say, you could just write it on your breasts and reveal it to him. That's how I got your father.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, I wasn't gonna say anything.
No, that's a good point.
Well, I'm glad we had this little chat. And she like leans forward and pats your hand. And this is like the amount of affection that you're like, oh yeah, this is normal. This is
Yep.
fine.
Yep, this is it. Okay. Thanks again, Mom. Oh, and I'm keeping him safe. He's currently my charge in my barracks. Just in case Demir decides to,
Oh,
be
is he the
coward
mouth
and try-
breather that was hiding under your bed last week?
I knew you knew. Yes.
Well, there was a man's trousers hanging over the end of your bed. It felt like very awkward to reveal my knowledge of him.
Yeah. Well, thank you for not, because now he thinks he's super sneaky.
Well, you'll learn this, child. It's good to let men. That way, they won't know when they've been found out.
I will keep that wisdom in mind.
Good, you should. I'm very old and very wise.
Yes, very wise. All right, Mom. I have another meeting to save the world.
Well, have fun with your friends there.
And good luck to you.
It's only dinner. It's not like I'm invading it.
That has yet to be seen. And she'll walk out.
And you hear her like yelling for her assistant, like, "Where are those quarterly reports you promised me?" Did anyone else have anything they were doing that morning?
No.
Does Mirai know anything about Raul being a planeswalker? I feel like he mentioned it.
He did mention it.
I would like to send him a sending. Tell him about this meeting of the planeswalkers at noon at the caldera.
Yeah. There's like a like it connects for sure, but he doesn't respond. And there's like maybe 10 minutes, so you know, like he's sending you, it's not replying to your sending. Like, thank you for informing me. I shall have to rearrange my schedule. I will make myself available.
Cool. Yeah, just like take lunch or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
So, as noon comes, you all reconvene at the caldera. With Sahili and also Ral. And yeah, I think you're all there with Sahili, and like 1 minute to 12, Ral walks in. You know, cape flapping in the wind. He is a bit theatrical.
That just comes with being a Nizit.
Yeah, but he also has that like fabulousness.
It does.
I feel like Ral would make a great drag queen.
For sure.
He has that flair for drama. And there's definitely like a small moment of posturing between Ral and Sahili. Well, if everyone is ready, the meeting is 2 hours from now.
What?
Well, yeah, but it's not like we have to walk a bit to get there, so.
Oh, okay.
So if everyone is ready, we should go, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah. She leads you deeper into Precinct 6. It's pretty close to where Mirai's lab was. And in Midori Park. And you end up in this It appears that in like once upon a time it was probably like a common house. Like a the kind of place that you can get an ale and a meal for a silver. But it's sort of been converted into like a soup kitchen. And as you head into like the back room, there is quite a lot of people gathered there.
Are these all your people?
Yes.
A lot more people than I thought there would be. Good.
I have to admit, I myself do not know all of them. Oh, come, let me introduce you. So this is Gideon.
I remember Gideon.
Gideon is a human male. Well, he at least appears to be human. Quite large, fit, dressed in armor that doesn't look like it's Ravnican make. So Healy, it is good to see you again. And the two of them like exchange greetings before she turns and she's like, these are my friends that I told you about. This is Mirai.
Pleased to meet you, Gideon.
She's new. And these are her friends. This is Callista.
Oh,
And Cordelia and Talon.
A pleasure to meet you, I'm certain.
How do you do?
Well, it is good to meet you all. I fear we shall become brothers in blood before situation is at rest.
Oh,
Let me introduce you to the others.
okay.
This is Samut. And it's a young woman of color. Maybe in her like mid-20s. Quite stern. She gives you a nod.
I'll nod back.
This is Kasmina. And she's like, yeah, hi, we've already met. Good to meet you.
Oh, yeah, hey.
This is Teo. Teo is a young male, like 20 maybe. Short hair, attractive. And he gives you a nod. People are like gathered in small groups. This is Tamio. And Tamio is like obviously alien.
Okay.
Like, she does not look like a human.
oh.
Right. She has like porcelain white skin, right?
Yeah.
Pretty unlike.
She has porcelain white skin. She's quite like slender, long limbed, like she has like a long neck and her arms are very thin. There's something like otherworldly about her. Like, I would say elvish, but she reminds you more of like the fae that you've met than elves.
Oh.
And she gives you a smile. Hello, it is quite nice to meet you. I look forward to hearing all of your stories.
Well, I was really looking forward to telling them until we heard that that's going to end in bloodshed. Thought maybe that they wouldn't. But now I'm a little less excited.
Yeah, but that's just the story of our lives anymore.
Yeah, I suppose.
I am looking forward to it. It sounds like it will be quite interesting. He leads you on to. It looks like a metal golem.
It's my boy.
This is Karn. And he speaks in like a very like robotic way, I would say. It is a
Okay.
pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Hello, Miss. Am I? Oh my god, I just. Hi, it's nice to. See, it's really hard to not talk like that when you talk to him. But I don't want to be rude. Hello.
I see we have a new face among us. He's looking at Mirai.
Hello. So you're a planeswalker too, huh?
I am. I
I-
see your spark has recently ignited. I welcome you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, like he's a robot. He's not very
Right.
polite.
That's okay.
Oh, this is Jaya. Jaya is an older woman. Dressed in like her hair is white, like she's like somewhere in that ageless territory that's probably above 60, like between 65 and 80. It's really hard to say. I mean, she's actually a couple of thousand years old. I mean, closer
Right.
to 10,000, but whatever. It is good to meet you.
And you,
And
of course.
this is Kiora. Kiora looks like a Simic. She is a merfolk.
Wow, mermaid.
It is good to make your acquaintance.
You too.
Teferi, and you see a black man who looks like, who would we describe Teferi to be?
Um
What's that actor who got coronavirus.
Idris Elba?
Yeah, it's Idris fucking Elba. And like he's been casted, it's Idris Elba, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh.
If you
Yeah.
just Google image search, there's a picture of Idris Elba.
Nice.
I mean, I can't help it. Yeah, that's just what he fucking looks like. He's hot like fire, and he's Idris Elba.
Hold that thought.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Cordelia.
Hello.
It is good to make your acquaintance. So, are we getting this show on the road?
I hope so.
And Gideon's like, yes, of course. I can introduce you to the others later. We should get started.
All right.
Do we need like a gavel or something to start the meeting?
Uh,
I have a hammer.
no, I don't think that will be necessary.
I can yell really loud.
And
Use
you
minor
just-
illusion to make a gavel knocking sound.
Jaya just like puts 2 fingers in her mouth and whistles really loudly. So, I assume everyone felt what happened last night? And there's a murmuring of like general agreement in the room, like, yeah, that was fucking weird. So, we find ourselves trapped here on this plane. And I think most of us are aware of who our enemy this time will be. And there's a couple of people who are like, no, I have no fucking idea. And a couple of people who are like, oh, yeah, we totally know what's going
Like
on.
Corte, I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Our enemy is an old one. We have defeated him in the past. We shall defeat him again. And there's like a couple of like, here. Go us. We are the best. It is always hard when our enemy is one of our own. But he does not consider himself one of us. He considers himself more. He always has, he always will. This will most likely be our final encounter. I don't know why he wanted us all here, but knowing that he wants most of us dead, it does not bode well for us. Unfortunately, what we're lacking is information. We know he's here, but we do not know where. We know he's planning something. What? Any ideas? And like a small voice in the background is like, who? Oh. Our enemy is Nicol Bolas. And a couple of people who look like, we don't know what's going on, like, and like a couple of people still go like, who?
So the information that you need is like pretty much where he is and what he's doing, which is basically all of the information that is available and relevant. And we don't have any of it.
Well, we have some. There's only one way. To block us all from traveling, and that is the Immortal Sun. We knew it was in his possession, and last night it was activated. That means that whatever he is planning is coming to fruition. And someone's like, the Immortal Sun? And there's like a blah, 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 very powerful blocks planeswalking.
I don't know if
People in
it's.
his.
Oh, I don't know if I
What
was
was that?
lagging. Well, I don't know if it's relevant, but it is unusual, and usually things that are unusual are relevant to somebody. I have a friend, and she told me that she saw and smelled these really disgusting soldiers, and she said that she thought that they were undead. And
Yes.
she saw them in the sewer.
We know Nicobolas has recruited some of us into his plan.
Like Dovinpan.
Yes,
Like Tezzeret.
this is true. We also know he has one of his agents in Orzhov, a young planeswalker. Not sure everyone is aware of her. Her name is Kaya, the Ghost Killer.
I know of her.
We also believe he is in league with the Guildmaster of the Gruul.
Domri?
Yes. We know he is a planeswalker, one of us. We know when his spark awakened, he walked into the waiting arms of Nicobolas, who, of course, told him the truth as Nicobolas sees it, and recruited Domri into his army. I'm not sure what he promised him. Life, probably. Power, perhaps. But we do have something of a double agent within his camp. A spy.
Really?
This person has been funneling us some information.
Good. Important.
Unfortunately, she is currently a bit of a wild card. In order to keep her close to Nicobolas, well, as those of you who have encountered him know, he can read minds. So we might have removed her memory of working with us, and why? So for right now, until we can restore those memories to her, let's just consider her something of a wild card. She is to be captured alive so that we can assist her in regaining her memories.
What is her name?
Vraska.
Oh shit.
Oh.
Are all guild leaders planeswalkers?
No, Niv Mizzet is not a planeswalker.
Well,
maybe
Nev
because he's
Mizzet
dead.
is
Oh, he's a...
dead.
Oh. Well, who's the leader of... Is
This
it
is-
now?
Look to Raoul. He's there, right?
He's like looking to the floor, like... Yeah, so it does appear like most of the guild leaders are planeswalkers, yes. Of course, Jace was one of us. He was a good boy. Stupid, but his heart was in the right place.
For a while. Terrible news.
We might have some information the rest of you might not know. Although we'll have to take it with a grain of salt. Tezzeret actually captured us, me and my friends. And he showed us like a simulated future of what Bolus might be planning.
And how did this future look like?
Well, there was an army of these tall undead creatures with like blue metallic skin. They were everywhere. They had raised the entire, at least the 10th district, but I imagine more than that.
Well, I think it's fairly clear that Nicobola's intentions are not good for Ravnica. He does have something of a megalomaniac personality. He will not hesitate to kill innocents, but he also won't go out of his way to do it unless it gets him something that he wants. He wants to be a god, and for him to be that, he does need worshippers. So I think, with all of us feeling the call to come here, his plan probably revolves around us. Maybe killing all those who would stand against him in one fell swoop. It's hard to say. As for these soldiers that you see in your vision, such things are in the employ of Bolas. It is known. Not directly, but they're called the Dread Horde, and they are commanded by one of his agents. One of us, a planeswalker. It is there is an organization.
Go on.
We call ourselves the Gatewatch.
And what do you do?
We watch to preserve the integrity of the multiverse.
Okay, that sounds really important.
I am one, Teferi, a Johnny, and she points at like a large, obviously alien man who looks like a lion. Jace, Chandra, and she points at the young red-headed woman, and Nissa. Liliana was one of us. She took the oath.
Hmm.
And you can see Gideon being like, it wasn't her fault. And Nissa, the young red-headed woman, is like, the fuck it wasn't. It seems like even within the Gatewatch themselves, there is like mixed feelings about what to do with Liliana.
Well, it seems like this business with Vraska is important. Have we been trying to have you been trying to recover her memory to her? Or do you think it's better to let things keep going for now?
Well, we do want to restore her memory to her. She has been with Nicobolas out of our reach for over a year now. And whatever Nicobolas is planning, she would most likely know it by now.
Right.
But if she currently believes that we are her enemies, she's obviously hiding from us.
True.
And because she is quite powerful, she, like Karn, can sense other planeswalkers. They are in close proximity. So, in turn, she can also avoid them.
Hmm.
What about a newly awakened planeswalker? Wouldn't she want to get them in Bolus's hand?
Hmm, quite likely.
I'm not sure I like where this is going.
You know what? I was bait. You get to be bait.
Well, I mean,
It's only fair.
fair is fair.
Different scales of bait.
Hmm. She is with the Golgari. I don't know if you have any connections with them.
We do.
They're pretty slight, but
We do need to get her back. She is our best hope at finding out what Nicobolas' endgame is. Gideon and Nissa, why don't you talk to them? You saw that you had seen dead soldiers. Can you tell us where?
Generally just like in the sewers underneath Precinct 4.
Well, if Liliana's soldiers are operating within Golgari territory, it seems not unlikely that the two of them are working together for now. So, let's get you up to speed on that situation. In the meanwhile, everyone needs to stay low. If Nicol Bolas is trying to capture us, let's not make it easy for him. We'll meet in small groups.
Yeah, probably
We will
best.
coordinate. So why don't Gideon and Chandra will read you in on Raska and Liliana. And Chandra, no, sorry, not Chandra, Nissa. And Nissa makes that, again, that sound when Liliana's name comes up. And they start like dividing people, but for right now, like your main point of contact will continue to be Sahili, and her main point of contact again is Gideon. They're like very much setting up so like it's branching out so you guys can work independently from like other people.
Okay.
Perfect.
It's a safety measure, so if you guys are caught, you don't know what every other group is located and what they're planning to do.
Right.
And vice versa. So as people sort of start, splitting up into group and disappearing, Gideon and Nissa, and you weren't introduced to Nissa earlier. She is an elf, quite obviously. You feel like she would fit pretty good in Selesnya. But there's definitely a part of her that would fit pretty good into Gruul as well. Feel like Talon can relate.
Mm-hmm.
She has facial tattoos. And she's yielding a staff. You get the impression that she's probably a magic user on like the druidic side of magic.
Cool beans.
Let us start with Raska, as she is your main target. She is a Gorgon. Originally from Ravnica. She is an assassin, so she will not be an easy target. We have encountered her multiple times. She and Jace were friends. I believe your friend Ral is well acquainted with her.
Hmm.
Is this true, Ral?
He's like, we've had encounters.
What kind of encounters?
Uh, Decades of animosity.
Oh, that won't help us. Okay.
It is believed that she's currently taking over as guild master within the Golgari Swarm, so getting to her is not going to be easy. But, like you said, you do have bait.
I resemble that statement.
think we have some friends too.
I mean, we are friends.
Well, yeah, but didn't we meet one of their high priestesses?
I don't know about High Priestess. I don't know where she fit into their structure.
But we know that they have a portal down there that. Right?
Yeah, I mean, they do have a portal of sorts, like a summoning circle.
Mm-hmm.
That might be how they're bringing the undead in.
Could be.
She is. She has a reputation for being somewhat sadistic, but also motivated by her own sense of honor. A man that starved her people was found starved to death. She's very much an eye for an eye kind of person.
I can respect that.
Yeah.
She lives by a creed. And that creed is a person should die the death they deserve.
I generally agree.
In the past, she's always stayed well away from guild politics, so her recent rise within the guild carries with it some connotations that this is probably Nicol Bolas's idea. She's known to have connections with the erstwhile, as well as the Kroll. And of course, her sisters, the Gorgons.
She was also alleged to have maybe killed Isperia, and going by what you've said here, it seems more likely than ever.
Well, Isperia, for all her she is what you would consider to be a fair arbiter of the law. But when the law is inherently unjust, it doesn't matter if you're a fair arbiter of it.
Agreed.
Yeah,
It
I can
was
see that.
a long time ago, but I do believe that there was bad blood between them after Isperia ordered. Well, I'm not sure she gave the order, but she at least condoned a raid in which all Golgaris were captured and imprisoned. The prison. Well, it wasn't set up to deal with that kind of residency. And especially the Gorgons were feared for their inherent capabilities. I believe some guards overstepped. There were talk of starvations. Some prisoners died. There was a rebellion. They escaped, Vraska among them, but yes, I believe Going by her own sense of honor, she would say that the murder of Raska was fair payback. And whether or not Isperia regretted her actions, it would have been beside the point. Raska wouldn't care if you regretted. She would only make sure the punishment fit the crime. Which is ironic, because in some ways Raska and Desperia are like a strange reflection of each other. As for Liliana, that is where things get more complicated. And Nissa's like, it's not complicated, she's a fucking traitor that should be killed on sight. And Guinness like, no. Listen, you let your anger choose your words for you. It's not anger, it's the fucking truth.
So what happened?
Liliana was a young woman. She had some talent in the art of healing. And also in... I don't... Do any of you have any experience in the art of healing?
Yes.
A little.
So you are aware that those spells that can bring you back to life, other variations of that magic can also twist death into other things.
Which is a horrible thing to do, and you should.
Well, her powers, and like, when you're saying this is like, yes, she's up, like, listen to her. This
High
is the
five.
voice of fucking reason. And Gideon's like, well, I mean, you say that, but in the past, when she stood by her side, she used her powers so that the dead would fight battles, so that mortal lives didn't have to perish, as she protected the innocent.
By condemning the dead.
She would put them back in their graves, release them. It was a temporary measure.
But how can you guarantee their soul?
Their soul is already in the ether. You don't need their soul back to reanimate them. That is simply your magic giving them life for a short while.
Feels dirty, I don't like it.
Again, Nissa's like, this woman is right. She's so right.
I think the takeaway is that if she can control entire armies of the undead, she must be a very powerful.
She is. And the general thought is, once someone is incredibly powerful, if they are so amenable, they are invited to join the watch. And Liliana, it was... Well, we've all given an oath. Words of power. And... mine was, for justice and peace, I will keep watch. Nissa... And she was like, for the life of every plane, I will keep watch. And I believe Liliana's was, I will keep watch. Are you happy now?
Oh.
As a young woman, as she was still dabbling in the arts of healing, I believe a terrible accident befell her family, and her brother was killed. And Liliana, being young and not fully in the know, was tricked into doing a horrible act of magic. Exactly what you feared for, trapping her brother's soul in a dead body. She felt horrible, as anyone would do, and she tried to find a cure, some way to undo it. As her brother was already dead, he couldn't be killed again, but his soul was trapped in a body that was rapidly decaying around him. She delved further into the dark arts, hoping that the answer would be somewhere within them. And she made some mistakes. For the promise of knowledge and power, she entered into a bargain with the demon. 7, if you're being exact.
7 bargains or 7 demons?
7 demons.
That's a lot more demons than I thought you could bargain with.
Realizing her mistake, she sought to rectify this, trying to buy her way out of it. And when that proved impossible, she began hunting these demons down and killing them, so they would no longer have power over her. Because of the bargain, they controlled her in a way, like a puppet. They could use her, yield her as a weapon to do terrible things. When she joined us, there was only one demon remaining, and well, part of the reason why she joined is because I promised to assist her in slaying that demon. It appeared we had made a mistake, and that demon had already sold his contract to someone else. And Nissa is like, just fucking say it. She's working for Nicol Bolas. She's a traitor to everything that is good and right in the world. She needs to be killed. We've given her a chance. We've given her a second chance. We've given her a fucking third. How many chances are we going to give her?
Hold on, just a moment. So, even when she was under a contract for these demons, she still had free will enough to work against them and kill.
As long as they were not directly controlling her, ordering her to do things, yes. But you have to understand, Nicol Bolas is way more powerful than any of these demons were. Even together, they could only hope to yield a fraction of Bolas's power. As well as Bolas being able to read the mind of anyone within his proximity, plotting against him would be an impossibility as long as the contract remains.
Okay, so then let's use your logic and we kill her and then we employ dead her to fight Nicol Bolas. Because that's just, right?
But you're also killing an innocent. And
Is she
Chandra's
really
like,
an innocent?
fuck no, she's not an no, Nissa, she's like, fuck no, she's not an innocent.
So
Yes,
Chandra's probably in the back going like, yes.
yes, I agree with that. And Gideon's like, you have to understand that while Liliana will be the first to admit that she has done things of cruelty and out of anger and negative emotions in the past, she has tried to make amends for that. And she was walking a path to becoming a better person when Nicobolus took control of her. And if you end her life, if you end her journey, then that will be something that weighs on your soul, my friend. I am
Well,
hoping that by defeating Nicobolus, we can free my friend from the shackles that have bound her, and she can truly start her journey, untethered by evil.
I love where your head's at, Gideon. I love it. Perfect. But don't you think she's already given?
Do you know any necromancers? Anyone capable of casting that kind of magic? And Ral's like, yeah, I know a couple. Like, there's a couple in Nizit. It's good for like when you work in like toxic places to, not just kill a bunch of people to.
Yes, and constructs and zombies and stuff.
Yeah. How many undead do you think any single one of them could employ? He's like, well, one or two, most of them, a couple of really powerful, maybe 5, no more than 10. And Gideon's like, yeah, Liliana could probably hold 10,000. No, that's not true. I've seen her hold 10.
Well, that's a lot.
Part of the reason why I don't think it's a good plan to kill her is because I don't think there's even a remote possibility that you will succeed. She is an incredibly gifted mage, and I'm quite sure that she has more than one backup plan if she was to be killed. And with her being a planeswalker, if you was to actually kill her, her spark would exist.
I was
Now,
meaning
with
to ask, does that work with the Immortal Sun active? Or are we vulnerable?
I am not sure. But there are other ways great mages can keep themselves safe. I understand that they can grow extra bodies that their soul will escape to in their moment of death.
Yeah.
And make no mistake, she is an incredible, powerful mage. For all that Raska is cunning, she is still well, young. By all our standards, very young. Maybe, I believe she received her spark maybe 70 years ago, and at the time she was, not sure, maybe 20. That would make her a babe by any of our standards. And to that, like, this seems to be like the first time Nis and Gideon has actually agreed on anything. Is Nis is like, oh god, yeah, she's a babe. Like, has she even truly lived? I believe Nis is like, yeah, she's like 3,000 years old.
Yeah, maybe.
Gideon's even older. 4,561.
Damn.
I'm 18 years old.
20.
Wonderful. So, we believe the odds of incapacitating Vraska is something you could be capable of. But you guys trying to take on Liliana? No. It would be a suicide. Even if the entire Guild Watch tried to take her on, we would lose members. Not just because of her own inherent power, which is vast, but she would be protected. And even though the undead in the singular aren't particularly powerful, if you have an army of 10,000, well, if you throw enough meat on a problem, something is going to stick. So for now, I would say stay well clear of her. You cannot take her on. However, if she is in the sewers, any information as to her whereabouts, the size of her army, that would be valuable to us.
Good to know.
So we go down there trying to recover Vraska, her memories. What are the odds that our memories will betray us, that will be mind read?
Unless Teferi's down there. No, Teferi, fuck me, what am I saying? Unless Bolas is down there, I would say the odds are very low. As far as we know, Vraska doesn't have the capability to do that.
Okay.
For all her talent, she is not a great mage.
Just a Gorgon assassin.
Challenge in itself. Now, as for our current situation, I believe our most immediate problem is the fact that we're trapped here. And Raul's like, I might know something about that.
Oh, what did you learn?
Well, I believe the power leak you uncovered from another plane
Mhm.
was used to power the signal to bring people here.
That could make sense, yeah, because there's a tower there too. And maybe that's what it channeled it through?
Yes. It is no longer channeling that power.
Okay.
It is now powering something else.
Do you know what that is?
I believe it's the Immortal Sun. And I know where it's located.
Really important information.
Yeah.
It's in Precinct 2.
In Precinct 2?
Yes.
But where? Would it be there?
It is the highest tower in all of Ravnik.
New Prav.
Got it in one.
Well, the open bond does work for Bolus, so
Yes. And before he took over, he was in charge of the Liev column, also known as the highest tower in Azorius. I believe that is where where it is currently activated, and it's like a magnet for power. Seems to be leeching energy from everywhere else to fuel.
well, I vote we shut it down.
I agree. But for now, we need more information. And this is Gideon speaking.
Okay.
If you know about any of this, if it's connected to, is it maybe like any plans you could find, any way to like shut it down? If it's seeping power from, if we could lock down its power source and remove it, we could potentially shut it down. The other option would be to attack Azorius head on, but that seems like a suicide plan.
Yeah, not option number one.
And Ral's like, yeah, I mean, I can show you what's inside Izzet.
Alright, well, this definitely seems like it's gonna take a lot of coordination and probably quite a bit of time.
As
But-
for right now, I want you to report to Sahili. She in turn will report to me, and I will coordinate that you have all the information you need. Meanwhile, Ral, I want you to work with Chandra. I'm sure the two of you will get along. And Ral sort of gives a nod and is pointed towards Chandra by Gideon. The watch will coordinate any incoming information. But for now, I think it is wisest if we are the only people who are aware of everything that's going on. Vraska is a deadly enemy, and our hope is that you can capture her alive so we can extract any information she has. But if push comes to shove, it is an opportunity to remove a potent ally from Nicobolas. He's basically giving you permission. He's like, this is a capture is option 1, but if that fails and you can take the kill, then take the kill. Which is funny because he was just like, no, don't kill Liliana.
But
Yeah.
Leona is so great.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on there.
She just had a really hard time, you guys.
He
I mean-
likes that cow's tricks.
He's not wrong. I mean, everything
No.
he said is truthful. But it's also like him very much wanting to see the best in her.
Alright, well, I think we all have a lot of things that we can work on in the meantime, and I think I have some ideas. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I just have to. I have to sit down and think about things, and we'll figure out a way to. The good news is that he hasn't shown up with a giant army yet, and it seems like we do have some time to make preparations.
Some, yes, but not a lot. Time is running out, and the sooner we know what he's planning, the sooner we can start preparing for it. Our best choice, our best option for that information is Raska.
Alright, we'll focus on getting to Vraska then.
Good.
Is there anything we can say or do to trigger her memories back?
No. It will need to be magically restored to her. She will need to be brought to us. The person who originally put the spell on her would ideally be the same that put it on her to begin with.
Who's that?
Jace.
Oh shit.
But seeing as he is not available, our second best option is the fairy. He knows the spell and is capable of weaving it, and as such, unweaving it as well. It will probably take longer than if Jace was doing it himself, but the fairy says it is possible. And I have every faith that if he says he's capable of doing it, it will be done. And again, this is like, yeah, because you can fucking trust the fairy, not Liliana, that bitch.
Okay, well. Probably time to get to work.
I wish you all the luck. You're going to need it. Before you decide to set out on your mission, I assume you want to acquire some information, but when you feel like you're ready to take on Raska, come see me, says Nissa. I know spells that can give you at least a measure of protection. If you let Sahili know, she can get in touch with us.
Alright.
Thank you.
Of course. We are allies now. Soon it will be forged in blood. I hope it is not yours.
Me too, I don't have that much.
We'll be fine. It'll all be good.
We've come through up until now. Don't suspect anything will change.
I wish you all the best, my friends.
Same to you.
And the two of them sort of like reconvene with the rest of their friends.
Mm-hmm.
The Gatewatch.
Do you think any of them would have a book like light reading, like Planeswalking for Dummies, or
Probably
how,
not.
how not to blow yourself up?
But I think you could just ask them instead.
Mirai, you can make one.
Good.
You should. Planeswalking for Dummies. A how-to guide for the inexperienced planeswalker. And then the follow-up would be like, so you found yourself in a dimension that was not your own. What now? And the third would be like, dimensions known and unknown, where you like
Right.
just collect rumors about the various dimensions that people have been planeswalking to.
I mean,
And the
hey,
fourth would be like planeswalker friends or foes, where you like
Right.
detail every known planeswalker and be like, he's a good guy, he's a bad guy.
Next chapter, just troubleshooting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, she's immortal now. She has all the time in the world.
Unless I get my spark stolen by Nickel Ball.
Yeah, this is one of those campaigns that don't necessarily have a positive outcome. There's a good, like, if you go, I do have a stat block for Nicol Bolas, and
Shit.
yeah.
Oh god. CR 75.
No,
What
he
does
doesn't-
help at?
he's not CR
40.
75. 45, yeah.
Okay, still that's still very, very high.
Yeah.
First hot minute, I thought you answered his health was 45, and I'm like, let's go.
No.
Smite.
His health is more like 4,500, and he has an insane regen.
Yeah. You don't attack Nicol Bolas without having pretty much every single plan you could ever employ in place, plus
Yeah,
extra.
Like, you know, an ancient dragon?
On steroids.
All of them. On top of each other. That's kind of like Nicol Bolas' stat block.
Cordelia would like to join his team.
Well, like, you have his stat block is also like made with the consideration of like you guys and the Gatewatch and like a bunch of people
All of
storming.
Ravnica, just like
Mhm.
Yeah, storming the fucking castle.
Yeah.
And like the planar bridge being being activated.
Like,
And
Nicol
yeah.
Bolas is not a guy you attack with 5 random adventurers from Ravnica. It's just no.
What? But that's
No.
how all D&D games are.
Yeah. I mean, the guy has counterspell as like a
A free
default thing.
reaction.
Yeah. Well, it's not free, but
Oh.
he can cast it as he can cast more than one level spell per turn, and he also has legendary actions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he has 3 reactions per turn. So yeah,
Jesus.
So,
he's
yeah,
a
you
good
can counter like 3 times.
yeah. And that's just him. He also has like quite capable mages fighting on his side too.
No.
Dovenbon being one of them.
Who has an army of Thopters.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking
Mind
sucks.
reading Thopters.
Mm-hmm. Fuck's sake.
Everybody thinking you're green, I'm naked.
But yes, I think I think this is a good place to end the session. Like, you probably want to like talk both out of character, lay like a ground plan for how you're gonna attack the whole Vraska thing, because
True.
like she's like CR, she has like a pretty high CR by herself.
She's...
True.
She's not
Yeah.
easy either. What a surprise.
So,